David Alaba announcing today that he will be leaving Bayern Munich at the end of the season. Could Chelsea hijack a move for David Alaba? Are Chelsea ready to face Atletico Madrid next Tuesday with João Felix and Moussa Dembélé returning after they contracted COVID-19? How are Atletico doing in the Premier League? Is Kepa ready to be our number one? I'll be discussing all the latest news and all the latest rumours surrounding Chelsea. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But without further, let's get straight into today's Chelsea news daily video for you guys. Now, the biggest news story of this video is, of course, in regards to David Alaba. It's, of course, for the CF Bayern, German publication, stating that David Alaba will announce today that he is leaving Bayern Munich this summer. However, here's a caveat: he will not be confirming his new club. Now, we all know that the favourites are Real Madrid. He doesn't speak Spanish, but he wants to go to La Liga. He wants to play for Real Madrid. But Real Madrid were not the only club involved. Chelsea, Liverpool were the other clubs interested, heavily interested in securing David Alaba's services. But the wages was a massive problem. His astronomical wage demand put off Chelsea and Liverpool. But again, what's interesting is that even if he signs for Real Madrid, they couldn't match his wage demands. He had to bring his wage demands down. His wage demands is only 12 million euros if he signs that pre-contract with Real Madrid. He played in last night's game for Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, but today he's confirmed that he will be leaving Bundesliga in the season. But the interesting part is he hasn't confirmed his new club, meaning there is still time for the other clubs such as Chelsea to potentially swoop in and hijack the deal. Now, according to 90 Minute Football and various English publications, Chelsea have been the only Premier League club to give a concrete contract offer. So despite Liverpool's interest, they haven't actually put down a contract offer on the table for David Alaba, meaning that Chelsea's interest is really concrete, and if we are desperate for the player, we could increase our wage demands and lure David Alaba to the Premier League. However, it's very silent. Now, the good news is Chelsea operate in silence anyway. As I said yesterday, we move in silence. That's what I love about this club. We don't release too much news. You've seen how the Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner deals occurred. They happen within split seconds, but no one knew about it. Not even the most reliable reporters or the most reliable journalists. So if we're moving in silence to secure him, we could potentially sign him. However, don't get your hopes up. I still think that he's heading to Real Madrid. They are his dream club, his dream move. I think that he will be signing for Real Madrid. But again, in football, you never know. Anything is possible. Chelsea have a chance, of course. Nothing's impossible. But at the same time, I think that, again, Real Madrid have been favourites for a long time. And I think they will end up securing David Alaba's services. We could secure David Alaba. And what a coup that would be, man. Honestly, again, you don't need me going over the type of player David Alaba is. I've already done that in previous videos. He's a world-class defender who's versatile, can play anywhere across the back four, can play midfield. I know his wage demands are extortionate, but the guy is simply world-class. Absolutely world-class in the prime of his career. What more do you want? A world-class defender to elevate your defence. That's all you need. Honestly, that is all you need when it comes to a player like David Alaba. But that is the biggest news story today. To be honest, it's been a very slow news day. Very slow news day when it comes to signing David Alaba. Because you know what? If Chelsea signed David Alaba, boy, the timeline would crash. Boy, Twitter would go into meltdown. It's something that definitely this club needs. Again, would be a fantastic coup. Would be great when it comes to Thomas Tuchel, against bolstering his defence, bolstering his squads. But again, let's not get our hopes up too much. But you never know. Especially Simon Phillips here. I see you, big man. The way he's been moving on Twitter, saying, Chelsea are not ruled out. But let's not get our hopes up too much. It looks like he is heading to the Bernabeu. But let's move on to some other news, and it is in regards to injury news. Now, again, unfortunately, yesterday, Tammy Abraham did pick up an injury. Of course, it was a 50-50 whether it was a penalty, but the shells completely came through. He clamped his ankles. He had to come off Olivier Giroud, as we know, if you watched the game against Newcastle. Now, we know the extent of the injury. Now, according to The Athletic and Matt Law, again, reliable reports, legitimate reports, it's not too serious, which is fantastic news. Again, we don't want to wish an injury on any sort of player, coming off the bench, even starting some games, as we saw against Newcastle. We hope for a speedy recovery for the likes of Tammy Abraham. And listen, again, had a decent cameo when he was starting. Unfortunately, had to come off for injury. It's not too serious. We don't know the length of time yet for how long he's out. We're hoping, 1 or 2 weeks. He could be back for Atletico, although I doubt he would start for that game. United, Man City, we've got some tough fixes coming up. Everton. So we need to make sure we have a fully fit squad. So hopefully, again, good news, it's not too serious. And he will be back as soon as possible. This is where things are getting really interesting now. With Kepa's performance last night, keeping a clean sheet for the first time for many, many months, his first start in the Premier League since the 17th of October against Southampton. Now, my main question to you guys is, the question that I'm proposing to you guys is, should Kepa be our future number one? Now, I know it's very early, it could be very premature for me to say that, considering Eduard Mendy's been our number one for a long time, and to be honest, I think it wasn't justified for him to be dropped. I understand there are some politics involved. There could be some pressure from the hierarchy, such as Marina, forcing Tuchel to play him. I addressed this in my review. I said I don't think it's Marina literally telling Tuchel, sitting Tuchel down and going, Thomas, yeah, listen, if you don't play Kepa tonight, I'm ripping up your contract. I don't think it's anything to do with that, but I think that Marina's probably talked to Tuchel and said, listen, yeah, Kepa, he's a world record keeper. We need him to play some games to boost up his, his sell value, so we can sell him potentially in the future, or again boost his confidence up. When possible, could you please play him, get his confidence up? And I think, to be honest, in hindsight, looking at it, it was correct to play him, because he played against Barnsley, kept a clean sheet, made a couple of fantastic saves in the game, and build that rhythm up, build that confidence up, as Thomas Tuchel said in the pre-match press conference. He played the game, he kept another clean sheet, made a great save in the second half with Dwight Gale's header. I believe it was Joe Willock's header. Fantastic distribution with his feet as well. His pass completion rate was really high. Kept a clean sheet. That would have definitely done wonders for his confidence. And hopefully going forward he can produce that. Now, Thomas Tuchel came out after the game and said that Eduard Mendy is still his number one, which is good because he's managing the squad. You're keeping everyone on side. So I think that it's good that he said Eduard Mendy's still number one, because listen, Eduard Mendy, since Thomas Tuchel's come in, he's still been fantastic. So I know he's been a bit shaky, but he's still the number one. And now Kepa, he's got to step up now. If he's stepping up in training, if he's still keeping clean sheets when he plays, and he still impresses Tuchel, and Eduard Mendy doesn't play too well, Kepa will dispossess Mendy in due time for the starting spot. And if Kepa keeps up these performances, his confidence will rise, his value will rise. And if we want to sell him or loan him, we have the potential and opportunity to. Or if he's playing magnificently well, which again looks unlikely, but it's possible, he can be our long-term future. So who knows? So let's just wait and see. But Kepa is not number one. But could he be the future number one? Let's wait and see. Now let's look at what Thomas Tuchel said in regards to the form for the Champions League game against Atletico Madrid next week, Tuesday. Massive clash. He said, ask me next Monday and I will hopefully tell you that we are prepared to do everything to get through. Atletico are one of the toughest teams to beat. It will be a 2-match elimination game, and first of all we have to focus absolutely on Southampton, so not much in regards to that. But let's have a look at La Liga table and how Atletico are doing domestically. Now Atletico, they've had a magnificent season. They are top of the La Liga ahead of Real Madrid and Barcelona. They are currently 5 points clear at the top with 2 games in hand. So again, if you look at context, if you add in context, if they, let's say hypothetically, win both of their games and they play level matches played with Real Madrid, then they will be 11 points clear at the top of La Liga, which is safe to say that they will probably win La Liga this season, which again will be the first time to win La Liga for Atletico since 2013. Now let's look at, in Europe, they came second in their group, of course, hence why they drew us. They came second behind Bayern. They lost to Bayern Munich 4-0 in the group stages, so they are beatable. They're not invincible. They've lost only 1 game in La Liga this season, but again, they have lost. They are beatable. And let's talk about, COVID situation. Now, João Felix was pictured today training with Atletico. He's returned after he was off for 2 weeks due to testing positive for COVID-19. Moussa Dembele, their new January signing, also tested positive for COVID-19. He's also returned to training. However, good news for Chelsea is Jose Jimenez, again, they're essentially their best centre-back and a player that's been linked to Chelsea heavily actually in the summertime. He's actually injured and potentially not fit to play our game in the first leg especially. So that's massive news. Oblak, of course, is still fit. They've still got some world-class players in that team. Now, the caveat on Felix and Moussa Dembele is that yes, they've returned to training, but they haven't trained or played in 2 weeks, so their fitness levels are going to be quite low, their stamina levels. So are they going to be 100% even next week? So that is some good news for Chelsea. They might not be up to top form, which could be fantastic news for Chelsea. And even if they do play, they won't be that well, or they could potentially come off the bench again, which is still a massive positive for Chelsea. So again, listen, it's going to be a tough battle. It's going to be a tough game. If we get past Atletico, start to believe that we can actually go very far in this competition at least. Again, when there's not a strong team this season, Real Madrid and Barcelona are in turmoil. I think the favourites are Man City. Juve aren't doing that great too this season. PSG are a bit shaky on the Pochettino, so definitely Chelsea have an opportunity to do something special this year in Europe. So let's wait and see. It's going to be a massive game. You will see a preview for that next week. I will be doing a preview for that next week for you guys, of course. I'll be going into all the tactical details, how to tactically outclass Diego Simeone, but it's going to be a massive game. I'm looking forward to it. But that is it for the news daily video. Don't forget to smash like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.